Have you ever struggled with seeing friends in your group that are very close to you, that are struggling through a challenge, they're going through a tribulation, they're fighting an addiction, maybe they're having an anxiety attack, or maybe they're depressed, and you ask yourself, what should I do? Or perhaps, should I? Should I be there for them? Should I go and fight their spiritual war for them or with them? It's simple. You see, God did not create you to be by yourself. God did not create you to fight your battles by yourself. God created us and He created you to be in community. Why? Simple. Because that's when we're stronger. And we have to be a spiritual warrior for our friends and for our brothers. And a spiritual warrior is someone who's there with their brothers, with their sisters, with their very close friends. And whenever they see that something's coming their way, they're going to go and fight with them. So I want to share with you 3 simple practices that are going to help you become a spiritual warrior and why you should be a spiritual warrior. The first one, simple. He intercedes for his friends. See, a spiritual warrior is always interceding for his friends. Scripture, God calls us to do that. Because when we do that, it's easier to face the challenge that is ahead of us. Jonathan did it with David. Jonathan and David were very close. Even Scripture said that their souls were even tied. Saul, his father, wanted to kill David, the king of Israel. And the first thing that Jonathan did is that he went to his father, the king, and he said, hey, do not kill my friend, do not kill my brother. He interceded in front of the king, even to the point that Saul, the king, made a promise. So, as a spiritual warrior, you should always intercede for your friends, because you have been alone in several moments in your life. You have been alone, that you have been fighting anxiety, depression, or an addiction, or you're going through a financial struggle, and you ask yourself, I wish someone was there for me, to be with me, to share that moment, to fight that moment. That's why a spiritual warrior is always interceding for the friends. So in those moments that you're alone, you're going to have someone who's going to fight that battle with you. Not only a spiritual warrior intercedes for his friends, but he also encourages them when they are in the wilderness. You see, when we are in the wilderness land, I know that perhaps you have ever felt that you're alone and you're in that point of the wilderness that you don't know what to do. And you wish someone was there to fight that battle with you, because you feel that loneliness. You see, a spiritual warrior will come and encourage you in the wilderness. And so as another friend is going to come alongside you, you should always come that friend to help them. Jonathan did it again with David. You see, in that specific moment when David was running from Saul, he went into the wilderness, David, and he was hiding. Jonathan went, he found him, he encouraged him, and he gave up his armor, his sword, and he gave it to David, and he told him that he was going to be there for him and defend him. Spiritual warrior will always come at the wilderness to help you. That's why you should always do it. Because if a friend that is close to you goes to the wilderness, find you, and encourage you, you should also do the same. Because nobody likes to be alone. A spiritual warrior, not only will he encourage you in the wilderness, but he is willing to sacrifice his rights. Sacrifice his rights. What do you mean? Simple. Jonathan gave up his seat at the throne, that position, his rights, so David could be the king. He was the son of the king, but because David was anointed, Jonathan knew that he was supposed to be king. A spiritual warrior is willing to say, okay, I'm going to set this aside. I know that my friend is struggling. I know that right now I'm not going through challenges. I'm doing good. So I'm going to set aside my own rights, perhaps my even happiness, and I'm going to go help my friend. Jonathan did it. But you know who did it? Jesus. Jesus came up all the way from heaven, from his comfortable. He was the King of Kings, and he came down and he gave up his position so you and I could experience salvation. Jesus is the perfect definition of a spiritual warrior. So my challenge tonight is simple. Have you ever felt alone? Have you ever felt that you needed someone? My challenge is be a spiritual warrior for those who need you, because you have been in those trials. You have experienced that. Intercede for them, encourage them in the wilderness, and be willing to give up your rights, because Jesus did it for you.